It's Flagler College baseball from sunny Drysdale Field in St. Augustine, Florida, as the Saints look to put together the first winning streak of the 2023 season. Hi, everyone. Dave Wenda, Laurel Plexico, our producer, and Jordan Fauci. Jordan, you've seen this team. This is my first Saints game of the season. What do you see so far? It's a 1-12 record, but I think the team's probably better than their record suggests.
A lot better than their record suggests, Dave. This team's lost a lot of tight games. The bullpen from time to time has been shaky. However, they're looking to get back on track here, winning 1 of 3 against Georgia College. Going to be missing some people here for the next couple of games as they go into a non-conference kind of slate in the next 3 games, I believe. But the Saints are looking good. Wysocki's on the mound. We're expecting a bullpen day here for the Saints as Assumption comes to town. Assumption College up in Worcester, Mass, down on their annual kind of spring training ordeal here.
Well, let's look at the starters. The starting lineup for the Assumption Greyhounds. Leading off and playing center field is number 14, Cody Smith. Batting second and playing second base is number 11, Jack Berry. Batting third, the first baseman, number 18, Cole Durkin. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 27, Jared Berardino. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 10, Christopher Arabius. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 32, Emilio Acosta. And we'll get to the rest of the batting lineup as we make our way through. The starter for the Saints is number 14, Seth Wysocki. Wysocki, a 6'3 sophomore out of Jacksonville Beach. First pitch, ground ball, foul. Well, if you're new to 2023 Flagler baseball, as I am, brand new Red Monster. I know that's probably dear to your heart as a Boston fan.
It is dear to my heart. I'm glad that we have it out there. It makes this a bit more of a pitcher's park than it already was, especially with how the wind blows here, or generally blows. That was where we'd see most of the bombs come out, or at least deep and right.
Line drive to right field, and an easy play for Sims Owens, one down here in the top of the first. Well, they bring this fences in 10 feet, but it goes up a number of feet. So you think it actually benefits pitchers in this situation?
Yeah, I'm going to say that it benefits pitchers in this sense. You really have to get on one to get it out there. At least you have to really get under it and on it. It has to be a bomb. It has to be a high bomb to get out of there at least. And so I'd say it's going to benefit. At the most, it's going to benefit the right fielder, being able not having to cover as much ground, and the Saints getting a guy who.
Jack Berry rolls one to short for Mason Gray, and there are 2 gone here in the top of the first.
A guy who really isn't as nimble on his feet and may bring a bit more offensive side, or a bit more on the offensive side. You can plug him out in right field now as long as he has a strong arm. He doesn't have to have quite the range as he once did. But you notice a lot of these guys playing a couple steps in from that warning track.
The batter's Cole Durkin, the first baseman. I didn't realize it would be that wide, that would be that much of a formidable wall. I thought there would be a section of it that would be obviously much higher than the rest of the wall here at Drysdale Field, but it looks good. The field looks like it's in great shape. Wind blowing in. And the 1-1 pitch is high and outside from Wysocki.
Wysocki's been solid thus far this year. His ERA really doesn't indicate how well he has pitched. What is that? Just south of 11, the ERA for him. But last year he was pretty strong. 4.36 6 earned run, 3-4 record, and 74 innings of work. But I'm expecting a lot out of him, especially with how the bullpen and our starting situation has been. Really looking for that 2-3 guy and then some guys in the back end. So kind of a prove it here game for him against Assumption.
And he's got Durkin set up. 3-2, 2 outs here in the top of the first. This one hammered to right. This one may tangle with the Red Monster, and it's over and gone. A solo home run for Cole Durkin, and it starts the scoring here in the first for the Assumption Greyhounds.
I blame myself for that one entirely. I jinxed that 100%, saying that it'd have to really hit a bomb there, and he did, just squeaking it over that right field wall. Not a great start, but at least it's a solo shot to start things off here. Solo shot, not the worst in the world, but see if he can get back on track here.
So that brings up the cleanup batter, Jared Berardino, the left fielder. Assumption comes in 2-6 on the year. I think they played last night at Rollins, if I'm not mistaken. Rollins is a very good team, made it all the way to the Division II College World Series a season ago. So
it went poorly for them, I can tell you that. The score was 20-3.
Wow.
But that is a very good, very, very good Rollins team. And I believe that was their first trip down south. So you're coming off of playing, you're in finally thawing out, at least, coming down south. And then you go and run into one of the best teams in Division II. So give them a break there.
Right. I imagine they're happy to be in the warm Florida climate. Nice sunny skies and not too hot, not Florida hot yet here in St. Augustine. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Berardino. Ground ball back up the middle is going to be the second base hit in a row, and Berardino is aboard with 2 outs.
I can tell you who the happiest people here are. It's the parents for Assumption, the parents that decided to make the trip down with the team. Got some snow in Boston yesterday. I was talking to some of the family, and it's been cold. Definitely a lot cooler than it has been here, and I can tell you that the parents definitely enjoying the nice weather, nice sun here at beautiful St. Augustine, Florida.
This one popped up on the infield. Drifting over to take a look is Clapp, and that one is out of play. So the Saints with a tough start to the season. They started with 12 consecutive losses, although most of those losses were by 1 or 2 runs. And a number of them, the Saints had the lead going into the 9th inning and just weren't able to nail it down as that pitch misses, ball 1. But they got the win on Sunday with Georgia College. Is that correct?
It was correct. 2-1 win. It was good to see the back end of the bullpen. Even they worked through runners on first and second with no outs in the bottom of the 8th. They were able to only hold Georgia College to 1, hold on to that lead. And then Gabriel Partridge came in and shut the door. It was good to see him really get into the swing of things here. It's good to be home, really. 10 straight games to start the road start on the road is tough for any ball club, especially a team as young as the Saints are.
Fly ball out to Owens, and that puts away Rabius, and the Greyhounds are done here in the top of the first, but not before they score the opening run of the game on a solo home run from Durkin. Back with more Flagler baseball coming up here on the Peach Belt Conference Network. And welcome back here to St. Augustine. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Greyhounds, and Mason Gray steps in, leading off for the Saints. It'll be Mason Gray, Trey Newland, and Taylor Clapp for the Saints here in the first. They'll deal with Kyle Keating, the left-hander.
Only 5'7" for the freshman from Plymouth, Mass. This is his second appearance of the year. His first appearance, he actually scored the win when 2 2/3, letting up 1 hit, walking 2 and striking out 2.
Big cut from Gray. 2 balls and 1 strike to the do-everything shortstop for the Saints. This one fouled out of play.
Gray's been real good this year, getting on base. Him and Newland actually doing a fantastic job with both with on base percentage just south of 400. Gray's had some trouble with his glove to start out, at least in that series last week.
This one lifted to center field. Should be an easy play for Cody Smith.
Had some trouble with the glove, but looking to get back on track. Made some nice plays, nice diving plays in the game on Sunday against Georgia College. So, bit of confidence building for the sophomore, I believe now. For the
sophomore,
Saints.
I believe is right. Yeah, Mason Gray was the stolen base king of the Peach Belt Conference a season ago, and Trey Newland was tied for second. Here is Newland, center fielder, and he looks at a strike.
Newland coming off a very good game last week. Well, not the best game. He went 1 for 4, but he did have the RBI double that got the Saints on the board.
Little dribbler to second. Should be easy for Barry, Jack Barry. And there are 2 quickly gone here in the Saints first. That brings up a newcomer, Taylor Clapp.
Now batting, first baseman, number 15, Taylor Clapp.
Clapp batting just 151, 8 hits and 53 at-bats. He has more at-bats than anyone on the team. But like a lot of the Saints, he's struggling offensively. Talking to Dave Barnett this morning, he's not really sure what's going on with the bats. He thought this team would be a good hitting club coming out of the fall, what he saw there, and a lot of guys just have not found their stroke. Again, they've played a tough schedule, a lot of ranked opponents on the road early in the season. Maybe some home cooking will do them good. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's in for a strike.
Clapp also with the winning run, and his glove was instrumental in that Saints win on Sunday. He made a fantastic play charging in to cut down a runner coming home with runners on. I actually believe the bases were loaded at the time, and made an unbelievable play charging in, barehanded flip to the catcher to cut down the runner at home to prevent a run scoring that would have tied the game. And he also knocked in the run to give the Saints the lead.
Oh, wow.
So, really coming off a really good performance on Sunday for him.
Junior college transfer from Chipola College. Looking at a 2-2 pitch, and that's high and tight. Last year, Clapp for Chipola started 36 of 42 games, hit .307 with 6 homers and 19 RBIs. Also 5 for 5 in stolen bases. So we talked about the speed of guys like Gray and Newland, and some speed here as well. And that will be the end of the inning. The Saints go in order in the first. They trail it 1-0. And welcome back. Top of the second, 1-0. Greyhounds lead it.
Got Acosta up here, the left fielder for the Greyhounds.
One and one's the count. And Acosta looks at a strike, laid off, thought it was outside. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, we talked about Wysocki a little bit, making his 4th start, his 4th appearance overall, a 10.97 ERA, 0-2. But you've seen him pitch, and you say the ERA maybe not indicative of the performance so far, maybe some tough luck along the way.
Yeah, he's faced a lot of really good teams as well. The gloves haven't really been behind him as much as he would have liked. But looking to get back on track here, this is a solid opponent in Assumption. And really just, I believe this is his 2nd start at home.
This one's fouled off. The count is full. And the 3-2 pitch. Line drive, drifting foul and into the Saints bullpen. Well, it's a warm afternoon here, about 84, 85 degrees as we got started, just after 5 o'clock. Wind blowing in straight away from center field. 3-2, and that is foul tipped into the mitt. And Acosta is gone.
Great way to start the inning there with the high cheese for Wysocki. Get Acosta down swinging. Nice to go up there and really challenge a guy with the fastball, especially to blow it by him as he did there. Has to feel good to start this top of the second off.
And that brings up the catcher, Eric Preston.
Preston struggling to start the year, batting 176.
And the count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swings through that one, strike 2.
Beautiful off speed there for Wysocki. That first inning for a pitcher, sometimes tough. You got to kind of feel out the game, but he seems to be getting into a rhythm. At least time in between pitches has been very similar. Starting to feel it now.
Lifted to center field. Trey Newland drifting back. The wind will hold that one up. And there are 2 gone here in the second.
I might have to stop complimenting him. Every single time it seems I'm complimenting him. He cranked one. Wind coming up huge there. That one was going right against the wind. And with no wind, I imagine that one finds its way out of the ballpark. But in the book, goes down as fly out to center. So at the end of the day, maybe the luck's starting to turn around here for Wysocki on the year.
That brings up the number 8 hitter, the 3rd baseman, Kevin Cox. Ground ball, first pitch swinging to Zach Thomas at second base. I was about to say Matthew Burke, and that is the end of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Greyhounds. They lead it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second inning, Saints trail 1-0. It'll be Tim Kadlinski, Jaden Ward, and Justin Haskins, 4, 5, and 6. For the Saints, facing Kyle Keating.
Wrong person. Wrong person.
Oh, I did?
And first up, it's Kadlinski.
My apologies. Left fielder number 22, Tim Kudlinski.
Kadlinski, the lefty on lefty matchup, and he's in a hole 0-2. Kadlinski, not really a power guy, but gives them what they hope was a solid bat, bat on ball type skills. And he rips one into right, and this will get down. I believe that was trapped, and Kadlinski will try to take the extra base, and he's in there at second, beating the throw from right field, and Acosta.
What a throw. He almost made an absolutely beautiful play there on the dive, and then the throw was an absolute rocket coming in from the now shorter right field.
And accurate.
Right
on the bag.
Money, yeah. The shortstop here for Assumption, Hamill, not happy with the call. He thought he got Kladinsky on the tag, but Kladinsky at second, leadoff double, nothing to get mad about here if you're the Saints.
So runner in scoring position for Jaden Ward, the third baseman. Yeah, from the naked eye, and my eyes aren't great, but I thought that they had him, quite frankly.
I thought that they had him. Good call from the umpires. That one, it was a close play out and right on the catch, but you could see it obviously bouncing into the glove of Acosta. But I thought they had him at second as well.
Jaden Ward hitting .217 on the year, 10 hits and 46 at bats. He has a double and he has a homer. They came in the same game. 1-1 the count. And that's low. So the Saints in the middle of a 7-game homestand. They just wrapped up 3 against Georgia College, lost 2 of 3, but got their first win of the season on Sunday afternoon. And then they'll stay out of conference for 3 more against a very powerful Mount Olive team out of North Carolina. This is hammered to left, but again, might have gotten up in the wind, and that one caught just short of the warning track by Berardino, and it's just a long, noisy out.
Off the bat, I thought that one was gone.
I thought so, too.
The wind definitely caught definitely a factor in that one, as you can see, blowing in that American flag will be out in left center pretty severely.
Saints have just hit 2 home runs on the season. This is Justin Haskins, the DH.
True freshman from Lambert High School. Lettered all 4 years in baseball. Really solid athlete, but with the suspensions from that fight out on Sunday, bringing the true freshman, or giving him an opportunity here where normally Ashton Thomas would be playing.
Now, we mentioned the suspensions. I'm not sure if we've painted the entire picture here, or we've mentioned it in bits and pieces. At the end of the game, after the last out, there was a little back and forth between Georgia College and Flagler. You said there was some bad blood brewing all weekend, and the conference suspended 12 Saints who were on the field, not necessarily involved, but they happened to be on the field, just shaking and congratulating each other on the win, if I'm not mistaken. You were here, you saw it. Is that
That's
accurate?
A very accurate way to paint the picture here. The Saints coming onto the field were coming on to congratulate Gabriel Partridge on the first one of the season. Some high fives around, but the PBC did not see it that way. Thomas, actually, who got suspended, came in and was separating the two, as it appeared from up in the booth. My end, he gets the short end of the stick and gets suspended, but the Saints get off lucky there. The entire Georgia College team suspended for the next 4 games.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. It violates PBC rules to leave the bench in a situation like that, even if it is at the end of the game. So the Saints caught a bit of a break there. It's tough to be down 12 guys. I believe the suspensions are being staggered here for the Saints.
So it's a 2-game suspension for 12 different Flagler players, and they will stagger them. A lot of the suspensions were pitchers. A lot of those guys were bullpen guys, so they are able to kind of stagger that. And Dave Barnett said it might make it a little more challenging in terms of pitching matchups and that kind of thing going forward into this weekend series with Mount Olive, but he feels like they're going to be able to manage it just fine.
And the Saints catching a break as that's out of conference. All those games are out of conference, so it could have been a lot worse than it was. Have to thank the PBC and the scheduling for the Saints catching a bit of a break there.
This is Zach Thomas, the second baseman. Count to him is 1-2 with 2 outs and a runner at second. And spoils that pitch into the screen. Saints looking to tie the game here with Kudlinski at second base after a leadoff double where he hustled it out, really turned what probably should have been just a single into an extra base hit and beat a great throw from Acosta in right field to get in there at second. And again, a good at-bat here from Thomas as he fouls off another pitch.
Timely hitting has been an issue. The Saints have seemed to strand a lot of guys in scoring position, and with no outs, a leadoff double. We haven't seen a small ball either, which I was surprised about coming into the series this past weekend.
And inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Keating comes set, the 2-2, and he struck him out to get out of the mini jam. Greyhounds still lead it 1-0.
Leading off here for the Greyhounds in the top of the third is going to be the shortstop, Jake Hamill. Wysocki allowing 1 run on 2 hits thus far. The solo shot from Cole Durkin back in the first, the lone run of the game. He's retired the last 4 he's faced. That one's going to get down for a single. Greyhounds able to lead things off here with a runner on first. Top of the order coming back around, and Cody due to bat. He flew out to right field in his first at bat. Smith on the year batting .273, shows bunt, unable to lay it down. Coached by Mike Rocco, his 10th season. as Smith able to pull back the bunt attempt. Wysocki checking on the runner. Hamill at first to no avail. That was fought off. Count will be a ball and 2 strikes now.
Dave, whatever you just did before what you just did worked.
It did.
I don't know if it changed the blurry. Is that good?
That one's going to be grounded to Gray. Could be 2. Throw from Thomas on to first is not in time, and Taylor Clapp appeared to have the back of his foot stepped on by Smith. Appears to be okay. The Saints get the lead runner.
It looks better.
That's going to be Jack Berry.
Now batting, second baseman, number 11, Jack Berry.
Berry on the year batting .219 with a pair of doubles, a triple, and a homer. He's knocked in 4 thus far. First pitch from Wysocki in the dirt. It's going to miss low and away. Runner takes off. Throw down is not going to be in time as Cody Smith swipes a bag. Got a duck on the pond here for Berry. That'll be 2 balls and no strikes. He's going to be fought off and out of play. Well, narrowly heading into Flagler softball field here at the Saints Athletics Complex in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. Sun could be an issue here for left side of the infield and outfield as the sun's setting here. Count will be 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Payoff pitch on the way here from Wysocki. Fastball is spoiled back to the net behind home plate. Wysocki set for the 2-2. That one's fought off. It's going to end in the Saints bullpen. So that one nearly took out a couple of Saints bullpen guys walking over to the bullpen. Breaking ball, pair of shoes here as Wysocki gets his first strikeout of the game. And very down looking. It's going to bring up Cole Durkin. Durkin hit the homer, the lone run of the game, back in the top of the first inning. Durkin batting .182 on the year. 4 RBIs following that homer in the first. First pitch from Wysocki misses outside for ball 1. 1-0 on the way. This one's going to be popped up into shallow center. Newland calling it as he comes in. He'll make a catch, and Greyhounds will strand a runner at second. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning at Drysdale Field.
What's the difference between there?
Leading off the right fielder, number 6.
Owens, Wentworth, and Gray due to lead things off here for the Saints. Bunts laid down, and that's a beauty as Sims Owens will get the first hit of the ball game here for the Saints as he laid down a beautiful bunt down that base line. It's going to bring up catcher Jackson Wentworth. Wentworth coming up here after the off bunt single here, and he'll line that one right back up the middle. Back-to-back singles, and Owens is going to head to third. Throw in time. Seen some fantastic throws from this Assumption outfield as they cut down Sims Owens, which isn't an easy task. Owens absolutely flies out on the base paths for the Saints, but a huge defensive play. And the Saints will have a runner on first with one down, and the top of the lineup coming back around.
And not much argument from Dave Barnett, who was right there, feet away from the play. I think you got it right. It was just a great throw. I thought his arm perhaps there. I know I was leading the other way when we had the double from, was it Kudlinski last inning, but not much argument from Dave Barnett.
So that one is going to be fouled out of play down that first base line, top of the order coming back around. But as we were saying, yeah, we've seen two great throws. And that one, I believe Owens got in there, but potentially a makeup call for second early in the game as misses low in the dirt. Count will be even at a ball and a strike. Gray, in his last at-bat, flew out to center field. Pitcher Keating's going to check on the runner at first again. Jackson Wentworth, starting catcher here for the Saints. Wentworth has yet to attempt a steal here on the season, as that one's going to be ripped into left field. Saints stringing together 3 straight hits. Gonna have on first and second now. Gonna bring up Trey Newland. Newland, a little squib off the end of the bat, grounding out to second in his first at bat, but comes up here with golden opportunity. 2 ducks on the pond, down here in the bottom of the third. First pitch breaking ball misses outside. It'll be a ball and no strikes to the Saints center fielder. Fouled back and out of play. Counts even now at a ball and a strike. Couple arms stirring in the Assumption bullpen, as that's going to skip back to the backstop. Runners will advance, and now 2 runners in scoring position here as we get into the heart of the Saints lineup.
Yeah, I think the Saints take it. I mean, any little break, and now you got a couple guys in scoring position, a chance to tie or take the lead with a base hit or even a ground out here from Newland. And with Newland's speed, could beat out an infield hit potentially.
Infield's going to come in here, at least on the right side of the infield against Newland, as he'll rip one into left field. It's going to be caught, and Wentworth not going to be sent from third.
That was kind of a tweener. I mean, it almost got down for a base hit, and if so, it scores the tying run. And it was a little too hard hit, too much on the line for the runner to tag up, for Owens to tag up and score.
Wentworth, not the fleetest of foot.
Or Wentworth.
At third. It's going to bring up Taylor Clapp. Clapp with some timely hitting last game. He come up huge here with 2 runners in scoring position as he fouls off that first pitch breaking ball from Keating. A quick 0-2 hole now for the Saints first baseman. Keating looking to get himself out of a jam. Saints encouraging signs here. They've made really solid contact thus far this inning. Payoff pitch on the way from Keating. Swung on, grounded back to him at the mound. He'll throw on to first, will be in time. He'll get himself out of a jam. Saints strand runners on second and third. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning here at Drysdale Field. Jared Berardino, Chris Rabeas, and Emilio Acosta set to get things going here in the top of the 4th inning. Wysocki still on the mound here for the Saints. Has pitched here.
You just made it worse, so go the other way.
Thus far, only allowing the solo homer to Durkin back in the 1st inning, but he seemed to settle down since then, allowing 1 hit. Be a ball and a strike now to the designated hitter here for the Greyhounds. Payoff pitch on the way here from Wysocki. Breaking ball. It's going to be popped into left field. Owens underneath, actually Kladinsky underneath it. He'll make the catch. Saints retire the first here in the top of the first inning on the fly ball. It's going to bring up Chris Rabius. Rabius flew out to right field in his first at of the ball game. He'll line that one back to Wysocki. It's going to go down as an infield single. Wysocki nearly made the catch there on a screamer back at the mound. Gonna have a runner on first with Acosta coming back up for his second appearance. He struck out in top of the second. First pitch from Wysocki in the dirt. Great scoop there from Wentworth. Saints would love a double play here to end the inning. That one's going to be fouled out of play down the first baseline. Counts even out a ball and a strike. That one's going to be grounded to Ward. Throw on to second and first. 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. Saints defense steps up here and will head to the bottom of the fourth inning momentarily. Leading off here for the Saints is going to be Tim Kladinsky, followed by Jaden Ward and Justin Haskins. Saints stranded a couple in the bottom half of the third. To get things going here in the fourth. He'll put up 4 hits in that inning, but unable to really get anything going on the board. Payne on the outside corner there for starter. Kladinsky finds himself in a quick 0-2 hole. Fastball misses high. Kyle Keating doing a good job here. 3 scoreless thus far, only allowing 4 hits. Breaking ball misses low and away. That'll be full now to the Saints left fielder. Kodinsky batting .267 coming into today. So he'll pop this and out of play. Keating winds, payoff pitch. Breaking ball. Looked at for ball 4 as Kodinsky lead things off here with a walk.
Nice job by Kodinsky, not only laying off that one for ball 4, but also ball 3 when he was in a hole and had a 2-strike count on him. Good patience at the plate, good eye.
For the Saints to capitalize here, it's going to bring up Jaden Ward, the third baseman. He'll swing the first pitch, pop this one up into foul ground, drifting out of play. Acosta giving it a shot, but the wind blowing in, helping that one get out of play.
Yeah, and the wind now switching a little left field to right field, so that certainly did help that ball get into foul territory. There's a lot of foul territory before the fence that gets it out of play, and Ward lucky there.
Ward, quick 0-2 hole here. Swinging at the first 2 pitches he sees. Had a real loud out back in the second inning where he smashed one to deep left center. Wind held that one up as he'll ground this one to the second baseman, charging in. Throwing to first will be in time. Good play there from Jack Barry, but the runner will make his way into scoring position. That's going to bring up Justin Haskins.
Now batting, designated hitter number 34, Justin Haskins.
Haskins looks at first pitch strike. First team All-State in Georgia just last year. As that will in for a strike as well. Looked a little outside there. Quick 0-2 hole here for the Saints designated hitter. Payoff pitch on the way. It's going to be popped into shallow left field.
This could be trouble. Long run for the left fielder.
That one's going to get down. Haskins going to get nearly thrown out there as some fancy sliding. Able to evade the tag. It's going to be a long double, and head coach Mike Rocco is going to have a conversation here with our umpire crew. I believe that's going to be the second base umpire. Only a 2-man umpiring crew. I believe that's for all non-conference games.
So another opportunity for the Saints here, second and third. Just one out.
Zach Thomas, second baseman. Watch the first pitch. Ball outside. Infield's going to be in here for the Greyhounds. Saints need some timely hitting here as they trail 1-0. Breaking ball in for Keating. That'll be even out a ball and a strike.
Well, Keating's got out of a couple jams already, and this is probably the toughest one with 2 runners in scoring position, just 1 out here in the 4th.
Non-competitive swing there for Thomas. Keating's doing a really good job with those breaking balls, keeping the Saints hitters off balance.
A very defensive swing, as you mentioned. Non-competitive, good term for it.
Payoff pitch on the way. This is going to be fought off into the Saints bullpen down the first base line. Owens on deck here for the Saints. 1-2 on the way. That one's hammered into left field. That one's getting back to the wall, and it's going to be gone! 3-run homer for Zach Thomas, and the Saints will take a 3-1 lead. That one hopped off the top of the wall.
Run by number 18.
That's the way to get the party started here.
Absolutely, and into the wind, too. So, you know, he got all of that one. It was a shot, a moonshot to deep left, and immediately Berardino got on his horse going back to the wall, but no doubt about it. And the Saints with their just 3rd team home run of the season, and it's a big one, and this takes them to that 3-1 lead.
It's going to bring up Sims Owens, the right fielder. He reached on a bunt single back in the 3rd inning. That one, that's a grown man home run right there into the wind for Thomas. I believe that's his first career home run for the Saints as well. He's played sparingly with Matthew Burke being the everyday second baseman for the Saints, but stepping up in a huge spot so far. Giving the Saints the lead. Count will be no balls, 3 balls, no strikes here to Sims Owens, and a 4-pitch walk as Owens reach here. And we're gonna have time on the mound. Head coach Mike Rocco gonna come out, and I believe that's gonna close the door here on Keating's day. He'll be responsible for the runner Owens at first.
And number 8 coming in. Number 8's in the picture.
Gonna take a brief break here as Justin Ray gets going for the Greyhounds. And we are back now. Justin Ray, senior right-handed pitcher, taking the mound here for the Greyhounds. He'll have a runner which he's not responsible for on the scorebook in Sims Owens at first. Jackson Wentworth, catcher, for the Saints. Due up 1-for-1 on the day with a single. Ray coming into this affair with a .386 earned run average in 2 appearances. The hesitation there from Sims Owens at first. Owens is yet to attempt to steal a bag, but he'll take off here. The throw is not going to be in time, as Owens will get his first stolen bag of the 2023 campaign.
Yeah, had a great jump there, Jordan, and really not a lot of chance for the catcher, Eric Preston, to throw him out. Just timed it perfectly, picked the right pitch to go on, and now another Saint in scoring position.
That'll be 2 balls and no strikes to the Saints catcher, Wentworth. Watch a breaking ball from Ray. Count will be 2 balls and 1 strike now. Saints looking to pile on here. Already scored 3 runs in the inning, as Owens is going to advance on the wild pitch.
You know, Owens talking about that stolen base. He stole 28 or 29 last year to lead his team in junior college. So yet another threat, another speedy guy on the base for Flagler and Dave Barnett.
Count's going to be full now to Wentworth, but what a lot last year was the small ball approach for the Saints.
Yeah, with Trey Newland, Mason Gray at the top of the order. Sometimes they out an infield hit and then, or got on whoever, and then used that speed to get scoring position.
Going to be a walk here. Quality at bat for Jackson Wentworth. Top of the order is going to come back around now for the Saints.
Now batting, shortstop,
Mason Gray, 1 for 2 on the day, had a single back in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and just one out on the scoreboard with runners at the corners, and then again, arguably the fastest guy on the team, Mason Gray.
Gray's going to check on the runner, Wentworth at first. Saints potentially have some sort of play on with runners at first and third. Gray showing bunt.
And did not pull it back, looks like. I talked to Coach Barnett today, and he said one of the things he was really pleased with last year is he and Jeff Palke and his coaching staff really wanted to stress the running game, and it worked for them with guys like Newland and Gray.
Bunt down the first baseline is going to score a run for the Saints, as Mason Gray will pick the RBI on the sacrifice bunt. A little safety squeeze action for the Saints, and they'll have another runner in scoring position as Wentworth advanced to second. Saints lead 4-1.
There he is. Hi, Andrew.
Trey Newland stepping up to the plate here with a duck on the pond and 2 down. We'll ground this one to second base, and Barry throw on to first will be in time. Saints able to put up here in the bottom of the 4th inning to take a 4-1 lead. Preston, Cox, and Hamill due to get things going here in the top of the 5th inning. Good to see the Saints have an inning like that and put up multiple runs.
And finally, some timely hitting for the Saints, too. The leadoff single here for the Greyhounds. Finally, some timely hitting, and I think that's one of the things that Coach Barnett is like, well, eventually we have to start hitting. We have to start finding those holes, and it worked out great. Now we have a 4-1 lead. We'll see if the other thing that his concern about is now can this pitching staff, and particularly his bullpen, hold on to the lead, because that has been an issue in that early losing streak for the Saints.
Bunt shown here for the third baseman, Cox. That'll be a ball and no strikes now to Cox. Runner on first is Preston, the catcher. Called strike there as the bunt attempt was pulled back. Cox on the year batting .375 and only 9 at bats now. It's 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to center field back in the 2nd inning. Payoff pitch on the way here from Wysocki. Nearly hits Cox. Cox able to step out of the way. Count will be even now at 2-2. That one's grounded back. Barehanded play by Wysocki. Throw on to first is in time. A beautiful double play. And that might be the best defensive play I've seen this year, as Seth Wysocki putting his pitching hand in danger to turn 2.
Fantastic play, and then starts the double play, and everyone does their job around the horn. But it all started with the barehanded play. As a pitcher yourself, I'm sure you probably grimaced a little bit when you saw him stick out the bare hand. But obviously, Wysocki feels like now he's in a position to win this game, and the Saints are in a position to win as a club, and going to put it all out there, even though it's a midweek non-conference contest.
Does make you grimace, but that's just instinct there, kicking in.
Yeah, I've got assumption of 5 hits and Flagler with 6.
Breaking ball from Wysocki is going to just drop in for a strike. Count will be a ball and a strike now to Jake Hamill, the shortstop. Hamill 1 for 1 on the day with a single.
You said Flagler with 6?
Mm-hmm.
That one's going to be grounded down the line and foul. Narrowly.
That was close. You have a better angle than I do, but it looked like it was pretty close to going over the bag, with obviously the umpire right on top of it down the first base line and made the call without hesitation.
Huge moment here for the Saints. We get one of these shutdown innings following. When you get a lead, like to hold it in that following and not allow any runs. Payoff pitch on the way here from Wysocki. Right in on the kitchen. That's going to be a pair of shoes. The second in the closet for Wysocki. 1, 2, 3. The Greyhounds go. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Drysdale Field. Set to get things going here in the bottom of the 5th is going to be Taylor Clapp, Tim Kladinsky, and Jaden Ward due to round off the inning. First pitch here from Ray. Going to be in for a strike. Saints looking to keep things going. They scored 4 the last time they were up, as this one's going to be popped into shallow right field. Ray trying to get on his horse over into foul territory, unable to make the play as that one skips into the Saints bullpen. Even though they brought the wall in here, Dave, Drysdale Field still a monster field to play on.
Isn't it? I mean, and that certainly benefits the pitcher, right? When you have this much foul territory, balls that should be out of play get caught for foul outs and that type of thing. But yeah, it is. It's expansive.
0-2. Just missing there to Clapp.
Yeah, Ray wanted that one.
I feel like some of those you got to have as a pitcher. Count will be 1-2 to the Saints' first baseman. That one's going to be drilled into center field. Leadoff single here for the Saints. Clapp with an aggressive turn, but heads back. That's going to bring up Tim Kladinsky. Kladinsky reached on a walk in his last at-bat, came around to score after Zach Thomas 3-run homer.
You know, and the Saints did exactly what they needed to. They grabbed the 4-1 lead, and then they have a 1-2-3 inning, punctuated by that fantastic double play ball, started by the pitcher, helping his own cause, if you will, and then here leading it off when they get back in the dugout with a single and putting, again, pressure on Assumption, on their pitching staff, on their defense.
0-1 is going to be lined into left field. It's going to get down. Back-to-back singles here for the Saints. As that one looked like it could have been caught by the left fielder, Berardino. Didn't get a great jump on that. You have a much better angle than I do.
Yeah, I know. You're kind of blocked there. I think that was a base hit all the way. I mean, it would have been a spectacular diving catch if he got it, and I think he played it safe and not allowing any extra bases.
Smart play there for the Greyhounds left fielder. It's going to bring up Jaden Ward. Ward 0 for 2 on the day. That just above 200 on the year. Comes up with a golden opportunity here. Have to imagine you got to at least try and advance the runners, as you have runners on first and second with no outs.
Yeah, absolutely. Put the ball in play here, preferably to the right side.
Saints have speed on the base paths in Clapp and Kladinsky. 1-1 on the way here to Ward. Breaking ball misses just low. Pitch fouled off of Ward, so he'll take a second to collect himself. That one never feels good.
Yeah, it looked like it got his front foot, his left foot. And Ward will walk it off here. No trainer. Well, now, as I say it, now the trainer makes his way out to check on him, and Ward waves him back to the dugout.
Corey Aker, our athletic trainer here for Saints baseball. Ward just needs a second. He's a gamer. Started pretty consistently since coming over in that shortened COVID season.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's been around for a long time, and he does go back to at least that season, if not 2019. I'll have to look at that. It seems like he's
oh, that one sent into center field. Airmailed the throw, the pitcher Ray, as the Saints runners will advance.
Well, that's one way to get him on second and third.
That never feels good when you... Looked like he may have had a close play there with Ward being caught kind of in between. He got a little excited on the throw and looked like it slipped out of his hand as he sent that into center field, as Ward's going to line this one down the first baseline. just barely foul.
Now, if you're Mike, is it Mike Rocco, the coach? If you're the head coach for Assumption, what are you thinking on that? Because it's almost an unnecessary pick move to go to second there. You're not necessarily trying to keep them close like if they were at first and they're trying to steal and get into scoring position, and then
this one's going to squeak through and score a run as Jaden Ward will get the RBI single. But as you were saying, yeah, that's a costly mistake there on an unnecessary pickoff. Jaden Ward able to get his first hit of the day. Some timely hitting here for the Saints as they'll squeak across their 5th run of the ball game. It's going to bring up Justin Haskins, the designated hitter. First pitch here to Haskins. In for a strike. Saints have runners at the corners. Potentially an opportunity here for some small ball action as pitcher Ray is going to check on Ward at first. If you're head coach Dave Barnett, what are you thinking in this scenario? You have no outs. You have a 4-run lead. You have Ward, who isn't the fastest, but he's not the slowest. He can definitely run if necessary. Do you try to get some movement here on the base paths, or do you trust Haskins?
It looks like he's going to trust him as he swings away and lines it into left field.
Brings in the run there on the RBI single. Back-to-back singles, RBI singles here for the Saints as they'll lead now 6-1.
Brilliant strategy from Dave Barnett. He had that one figured all the way. I was going to say, I think I would probably lay down the bunt, try to move the runner across. Maybe there's an error and the runner comes in to score. Safety squeeze type thing. But I think Coach Barnett is looking at this as, hey, let's get feeling good about our swings. Let's try to put some good at-bats together and just kind of start to feel it at the plate and let us guys just go ahead and swing away in that situation rather than trying, something not gimmicky, but trying the small ball, trying to or maybe get the runner in motion and with a hit-and-run type situation.
This is going to bring up Sims Owens, the right fielder here for the Saints. Has reached in both of his plate appearances with a single, and he walked. Oh, actually, this is going to bring up Zach Thomas. My mistake. Zach Thomas hit the 3-run home run to give the Saints the lead back in the 4th inning. Got ahead of myself there for a second on the Saints lineup card. Ray still on the mound. He had a quick meeting with the assistant coach, Quinn Moynihan. He has to be feeling very confident coming up to the plate here, Dave.
Absolutely. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of reps. It's usually Matt Burke at second base. Almost every game that I've ever done in the 3 or 4 years here has been Matt Burke at second base, and he's not available today. He gets the 3-run home run and now has a chance to add some more crooked numbers to his scoring line. And I imagine, the guy who's probably second most happy about the 3-run home run is Matt Burke.
Oh, of course. The Saints team really gets behind each other on the bench. Really tight group of guys here. As not as many newcomers as we've had. These guys have kind of had an opportunity to grow with each other. 1-2 on the way here from Ray. Going to be spoiled and into the Saints bullpen. No action yet for the Saints.
No, and with the now 6-1 lead, they can afford perhaps to stretch out their starter and save some of the arms because Mount Olive coming in, a preseason ranked team from North Carolina, very tough team, and it's just in terms of scheduling, Coach Barnett said we didn't necessarily want to play a team as good as Mount Olive as we'll have a visit to the mound.
I believe there's an injury here. Ray kind of left that one up high, but he immediately went to that right elbow. I hope he's okay here as the trainer is going to come out. We're going to have a pitching change here at Drysdale Field. But all prayers to Ray and his family there. Be a terrible way to end the senior campaign with an elbow injury. Be back momentarily here for some more Division II Peach Belt Conference baseball. set to get things going. Ray exiting with an injury. He'll be responsible for the runners at first and second. This is going to bring on Corey Chapone. Dave.
Yeah, Corey Chapone, a left-hander, 5'11", 190 senior out of Bellingham, Mass. He's making his third appearance, all in relief, has a 4.50 earned run average.
2-2 count here to Thomas. First pitch here from Chapone. Just kind of left that one high and outside. Count will be full now.
And this has to be difficult. You come in the bullpen, and there's already a count on the batter. You're not starting with a clean count. You're starting in the middle of an at-bat.
This one's going to be sent into right field. Acosta nearly falling down, but showing off that arm strength as he one-hops the throw, preventing a tag-up opportunity there for the Saints.
Yeah, an athletic play for Acosta just to keep his feet and keep from slipping. We know Drysdale Field, if it's wet at all, and we've not had really any rain to speak of, but if there's any moisture, it's going to settle there in the right field area where the right fielder plays. He did a good job keeping his feet, making the catch, and then throwing in to prevent any advancement by the runners.
He's going to bring up Sims Owens, the right fielder here for the Saints. He's reached in both of his appearances thus far with a single back in the third inning, and then the walk in the prior inning, where he came around to score on the Zach Thomas homer. Actually, not on the Zach Thomas homer. He came around to score later in the inning on the Mason Gray. Going to be a 1-1 count here as Owens is going to pop this one up into left field. Catch is going to be made. No tag for Ward at second. Saints will have two down with runners on first and second as Jackson Wentworth, the catcher, is going to step up to the plate.
Yeah, nice job by Chapone to come in a tough situation with runners on in the middle of it at bat and get two quick outs, and now he's on the verge of getting out of this jam that really wasn't his jam. It was really Ray's to deal with.
Breaking ball from Wentworth, missing outside. But for the senior, it has to be good, as you were saying, to come in a tough situation and two quick outs.
Yeah, two quick outs, and now you're on the verge of escaping, and he gets the line drive, but right at the second baseman, and he gets three quick outs, and exactly what you want if you're Assumption and if you want to stay in this game.
Saints able to get two more here in the fifth, and we will take it to the top of the sixth inning here at Drysdale Field. Thank you for tuning in, as always, to Saints baseball action. Top of the order set to get things going here in the 6th inning. Smith, Barry, and Durkin set to bat for the Greyhounds, and Dave Wenda taking over here on play-by-play.
Thank you, Jordan. Saints lead at 6-1. We'd love to have Dave Barnett up in the booth. He's got other things going on. Saints lead it by 5, 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors, 1 run. And that was a first-inning home run for Assumption. They have 5 hits and 1 error in the game. Wysocki continues. First pitch swinging. Right back up the middle. It's a base hit for Cody Smith. Well, just 67 pitches so far for Wysocki. So I would think he's got a lot of room to work with as he tries to go deep into this game. If you're just joining us and you're unaware, there's 12 Saints that are suspended, and not all are suspended for today, but there are 12 Saints serving a 2-game suspension, some today, and they'll go ahead and try to go as deep as they can, but it limits the options for the Saints, certainly for Dave Barnett, and probably more importantly for Jeff Pelkey, the pitching coach.
A lot of those guys were bullpen arms for the Saints that caught those suspensions. So they'd love if Seth Wysocki is able to continue with his economical pitching effort thus far today. 5 innings, only 67 pitches. Love to see him stretch out as long as he can and kind of give the bullpen less work to deal with.
The batter is Jack Barry, the second baseman. He's 0 for 2 today. Ground out and a strikeout looking. And the first pitch is off the plate, ball 1. As the shadows start to fall here over Drysdale Field, wind continues to blow in from out in center field, and I imagine Wysocki's okay with that. The runner breaks for second. Ball lifted into center field. Newland comes in and makes the catch, and that's the first out of the 6th inning.
One of the dangers there of the hit and run. Pop-up luckily held up there long enough in the wind and just allowing Smith to get back to first base. But that is one of the dangers of that hit and run there.
Cole Durkin steps in. He had that solo home run back in the first for Assumption that gave them their lead. And rips one on the first pitch into right field. The runner will turn and head to third, and the throw is cut off. So runners at the corners with nobody out for the Greyhounds here in the top of the 6th.
Durkin came in today, batting 182, but a 2 for 3 performance. Definitely, especially with that solo shot back in the first. Seems like he might be getting out of a bit of an early season slump here.
This is the cleanup hitter, Berardino. Berardino 1 for 2. He singled in the first. Flew out in the 4th inning.
Berardino coming into today batting 394 on the year, 758 slugging percentage as well. He's been tearing the cover off the ball prior to today.
So certainly the guy that Mike Rocco and the Greyhounds want at the plate here with an RBI opportunity and just the 1 out.
Couple arms going to head down to the bullpen here for the Saints. That's Nathan Norwood, the freshman from Tarpon Springs, Florida, I believe, going to get going in the bullpen here for the Saints. He came in on Sunday, was able to get 2 outs, get the Saints out of a jam. That was a beautiful breaking ball.
Berardino waves at it way out of the zone, and he's gone on strikes. And now Wysocki's just an out away from escaping this jam. It brings up Christopher Rabius, who's 1 for 2.
You'll love that as a pitcher, those breaking balls where you just kind of make the hitter look like doesn't really know what he's doing up there.
And a first pitch pop-up. Mason Gray's going to call for it, and no one took the ball. Gray called off the second baseman, Thomas, and I think he was maybe expecting either Newland or Owens to come in from the outfield, and it's going to fall in.
Yeah, I don't know why he called that one. Honestly, it looked like he caught the lights out in from the angle that he was coming in for that fly ball. The lights would have been right in his eyes at Drysdale Field. This is a tough time of night for really anything hit up in the air that easily blends in to the like dusk sky here.
So a run scores on the play. It's now 6-2 as Smith came in to score. And there are still runners at the corners as Durkin went all the way from first to third on the play. And the batter is Acosta, who's 0 for 2. He pops this one into right field. And Owens catches it in foul territory, and that'll end the inning, but not before the Greyhounds claw back and get a run. It's 6-2 Saints as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And welcome back to Saints half of the 6th inning, leading at 6-2. And up for the Saints here will be Mason Gray, Trey Newland, and Taylor Clapp, 1, 2, and 3 to face Chapone. First pitch, breaking ball, misses outside. Ground ball to short for Hamill. And he throws out his opposite number. First out of the 6th inning. And that will bring up Trey Newland, who's still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3.
Chapone doing a real good job changing speeds here. Soft lefty here for the Greyhounds. Always have a couple on the roster. And really doing a good job in his role, just kind of throwing things off for these Saints batters.
Trey Newland came in as the leading hitter for the Saints with a .300 average on the season. 12 hits and 40 at-bats. His average will drop a little bit with that 0 for 3 mark so far. He has a couple of doubles and 6 runs batted in. And he's ahead here 2-0. Pops this one along the right side, and that will get out of play. Again, the wind continues to blow in pretty much from straightaway. A little bit of a left to right action. Flagler fans, if you want to support all Flagler athletic teams, join the Saints Club. Visit flaglerathletics.com and click on the Saints Club link for details. Here's the 2-1. And smack through the hole on the left side. First hit of the game for Newland. And the speedster is aboard with 1 out. That'll bring up Taylor Clapp, the first baseman. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored.
Taylor Clapp.
Check on Newland, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 in stolen bases. And another check on the runner. I would think there's a good chance that sometime in this at bat, Newland's going to take off.
That would not surprise me in the slightest if he does. It is tough with a lefty on the mound here.
Good point. First pitch to home is a ball. And again, they'll throw over to first, and Newland dives back in.
Time to employ the new MLB rules.
There's the 1-0, and that's low. 2 balls and no strikes. And still no signal from Coach Barnett.
Fish clock and batting clock.
Ready for the 2-0. And Chapone thought he had Newland picked off for a moment. So did the Assumption bench.
That was a great move there from Chapone, and I thought he got him as well. He kind of froze Newland there like a deer in the headlights, but Newland able to be an athlete and get back. And it's the first time I've really seen usually it's Trey Newland getting in the heads of pitchers. Now Chapone seems to be in the head of Trey Newland there every time he gets into his stretch.
This one fouled off, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Clapp, who has slid into pretty regular playing time at first with guys like Miles Colangelo gone and Ashton Thomas kind of bouncing around as Ashton Thomas can do. He plays a little outfield, plays a little first, DHs a lot. The 2-2 is a strike, delayed call from the home plate umpire, but it is strike 3 looking, and it is the second out of the inning for the Saints.
Yeah, right in the kitchen of Clapp right there. Pair of shoes for Chapone.
This is Tim Kedlinski, and he has not been retired today. A double, a single, and a walk. He scored a couple of runs. Runner breaks, and the pitch gets by the backstop, Preston.
Stolen base.
And it's a stolen base for Newland.
Shame that Newland slid in there head first. Possibly that was found its way high up on the fence. Kind of looked like he may have caught the front half of the plate and just shot up. And Newland, had he not slid, may have had an opportunity at third there.
Yeah, with his speed, that's a good point. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back out of play, evens the count.
Newland now 7 for 7 on the year. Stolen bags.
Kedlinski out of Stuart, Florida, transfer from Lake Sumter State College. He was first team Mid-Florida Conference last season. And looks at a ball outside. Hit .326 in his junior college season. 7 home runs. Also played at Daytona State College. So a veteran of college baseball. I think he was at Daytona State for 2 seasons, and then the 1 season at Lake Sumter as well. So just a sophomore, though. Actually, that's a good point. John Jordan points out COVID year, as so many of these kids have. An extra year of eligibility. And in some cases, I guess 2, if you look at certain sports. And
Junior college, baseball, softball, yeah.
So the count is full. Chapone steps off. Saints would love to tack another one on here with 2 outs in the 6th. And he spoils that pitch.
Chapone put a little bit extra on there. You could hear him up in the press box with a little grunt after that pitch. Definitely trying to get Kledinsky high there with the fastball.
And we'll do it again at 3-2. Ground ball to second. This should end the inning. So the Saints get a hit, but no runs. They lead it 6-2 as we head to the 7th. And welcome back. Top of the 7th inning, Saints leading 6-2, looking for their second consecutive win. And it'll be Eric Preston, Kevin Cox, and Jake Hamill for the Greyhounds. First up, Preston, who's 1 for 2. Seth Wysocki continues on the mound for the Saints. And that is just his 77th pitch of the game. Giving up 8 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He struck out 4.
Saints have 2 guys up in the pen now. I believe I could see that's Anthony Nofi out there. Be nice to see him get into the game. Native Hanover, Mass. Talking about this prior to the game, he said if the Saints lose, he will hop on the plane back with Assumption and head back to Boston.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was just a little joking with him.
Oh, he's kidding.
Yeah, definitely kidding on that, but he definitely has a bit of extra coming into this. Always want to beat the hometown kids.
Oh, I'm sure. Count is 2-2 to Preston. And that one's inside. I want to mention Jackson Wentworth because I think he's called a great game behind the plate. I know the Flagler coaches are really impressed by the way he handles the pitching staff. Here's the 3-2, and that's fouled off. They say he might be the best of the catchers that they have on the roster in terms of handling the staff. They'd like to see him work on his arm strength because he's not great at cutting down would-be base runners, or would-be base stealers, I guess. And that one is just a bit high and inside for a ball, and Preston is aboard.
There was a question mark coming into the year here for the Saints.
Oh, absolutely. We talk about John Fiorenza. And Tyler Keith as well was a very solid defensive catcher. I mean, I remember the strength. They both had incredibly strong arms behind the plate. And Fiorenza perhaps the better offensive player of the two.
Both handled the rotation very well, calling great games. And it's good to see Wentworth come through here and kind of not establish himself quite yet because you still have Griffin Garcia and others lobbying for that position, but he's done a really good job with this rotation.
Yes, and Garcia has gotten the majority of the starts so far, the majority of the playing time. But as with any good baseball team, college, professional, you need to have at least a couple of solid catchers on the roster, as now there are 2 aboard after this single from Cox. It brings up Jake Hamill, the shortstop, who's 1 for 2. So a bit of a bind for Wysocki. And here's the arm. Looked pretty good there. They throw behind the runner at first, and Taylor Clapp lobbying for the out.
About as close as you could get there. I thought if they had the runner Cox at hose there, but just a little bit high on the throw there from Wentworth.
Looked pretty strong to me. The arm looked pretty good there. And the count is 1-0. Showing bunt, and he bunts it back into the screen.
Burke actually on the bench in uniform. Forgot in the last game he did kind of tweaked his right ankle.
Oh.
The same ankle that I believe he missed time, I want to say last year or 2 years ago. He's getting a rest, definitely able to come in full uniform if needed, but getting Thomas to start, especially during a midweek game.
Yeah, might as well be safe with it and not exacerbate a potential injury. Here's the 2-1, again showing bunt, and he waved at it. Strike two.
Especially with a pitch high and tight like that, you have to expect him to pull back there. But sometimes, especially when one's coming up into the kitchen like that, you kind of freeze and just care more about moving your head out of the way.
The 2-2, and it's fouled back. So again, the Saints in the midst of a 7-game homestand, and I'm sure they enjoy being home and sleeping in their own beds and playing here at Drysdale Field after starting the season almost exclusively on the road. In fact, they did.
That's why Sock's going to get the strikeout there on a beautiful breaking ball in the dirt, and that's going to close the book on Wysocki's day, as we're going to get a call to the bullpen.
And we'll introduce you to the new pitcher coming up. You're watching Saints Baseball on the PBC Network.
It's 35.
The new pitcher is number 35, Anthony Nofi, the sophomore from Massachusetts.
Nofi, a Hanover, Mass native, two-sport athlete, played some football as well. Left-handed pitcher here for the Saints, has worked a lot on his velocity, spent some time with the Brockton Rocks in his past 2 summers. And you've noticed coming in as a freshman for the Saints, who's kind of the soft lefty on the team. Nathan Norwood coming in, and Nofi really took it upon himself to try and beef up his arm strength, and you notice his fastball has a lot more zip to it to go along with some fantastic breaking stuff for the left-hander. Excited to see him get some action here at home. This will be his first appearance here at Drysdale Field of the season, especially coming against a team from Massachusetts in Assumption.
And you talked to him a little bit about this. He's excited to face Assumption. He probably knows some of the guys, some of the Greyhounds, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, especially in the AAU circuit in Massachusetts, very tight. Especially spending a lot of time in the winter ball and winter training. You spend that inside in close proximity, especially as a pitcher. You're throwing a lot of live bullpens. So he's probably faced a good chunk of this Assumption baseball roster at some point along the way back in Mass.
So he'll deal with Cody Smith, the leadoff hitter, who's 1 for 3. Smith singled and scored last inning, and he comes in with a couple of runners on as Preston's at second and Cox is standing at first. 1 out. First pitch, breaking ball, and that's upstairs. Ball one just missed. This is his fourth appearance. He has no record, 11.57 earned run average, just 2.1 innings, or 2 1/3 innings pitched so far on the young season. Here's the 1-0. And that one missed as well. Nofi working at the top of the strike zone. And this one lifted, could be trouble, drifting into foul territory. Ward trying to make a spectacular no-look type catch over his shoulder, and he just didn't quite guess right on the stab. So it's a strike, 2 balls and a strike.
Nofi pitching backwards to start here. 2 breaking balls to start off the count here with Smith. He came back around with a fastball, drawing the swing.
And he blew that one past him. Changing speeds is Nofi. And it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nofi also with a really good changeup. Wouldn't be surprised if he tried to go low and away here to Smith. Try to draw up that double play ball.
And the fastball is fouled back. Six teams from the preseason NCAA Division II poll out of Collegiate Baseball newspaper are on the Saints' schedule, including number 4 Columbus State, preseason number 4. Columbus State picked to win the league again. And there's a strikeout. Nofi gets him swinging for the second out of the inning.
Call that a yakka right there. Beautiful curveball from Nofi. Gets Smith down. He has 2 down now and able to help the Saints try and get out of this mini jam here.
Yeah, absolutely. And he'll deal with Jack Berry, who's 0 for 3. First pitch swinging, and that he buried that one in the dirt. That's inside, and Wentworth does a good job of sliding to keep that one in front of him.
Nofi giving himself a little pat on the chest. He spiked that one. Breaking ball, just kind of spiked that. Great play there from Wentworth. That's not an easy play, especially on turf, to slide out in front of that, because it's getting all that topspin. It's going to shoot out after it makes contact with the ground. Great job there from the Saints catcher.
Here's the 1-1. Over the plate, but again high, and I think Nofi is a little frustrated not getting those high strike calls.
Gotta have that. He really likes, it's a dangerous place to live with breaking pitches, but he does like to kind of drop those in. They look like coming off out of his hand that they're going to miss way high, and they just kind of dart in at the last second. Big part of his game plan on the mound.
Missed again, that time probably inside. And so the count is 3-1. Saints lead it by 4. They've out-hit the Jaguars 11-9. And this one fouled off. Well, last year Columbus State won the PBC regular season title. Young Harris won the PBC tournament for the second time in the last 3 seasons after finishing 4th in the regular season. And it was Young Harris that ended the Saints season in the PBC tournament in 3 games.
Huge moment here for the Saints, and the Saints bullpen 3-2, 2 down.
And that one stays upstairs, and the bases are loaded now as the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Cole Durkin, who has a home run tonight.
It is good, though, lefty-on-lefty matchup here, especially for a guy who throws a lot of breaking pitches. That's difficult for a left-handed batter. You're not used to seeing curveballs, sliders with that movement, especially to Durkin, who cranked one back in the first inning. With the bases drunk here, big spot for both teams.
First pitch is a ball. And this one hammered to right. Long run. And it'll get into the bullpen. So that one bending from the initial contact, and not much wind to speak of anymore. But
that was
a little scary. A little scary.
Yeah, off the bat, that one was just got a little bit under it. Durkin did, as he already put one out over that red monster.
In that spot of the park, yep.
The first one we've seen over the wall in this season. Actually, more than that monster's life, I believe.
Here's the 1-1. Missed inside.
Ophi unhappy there with another. It seems like they're squeezing him a bit on these calls.
A long look in this time for Nofi. And that's a ball now, 3-1. And Nofi in danger of walking in a run. He'll collect himself. And he missed. He does, in fact, walk in a run. Back-to-back bases on balls issued by Nofi after a strikeout. And
Barnett's going to come out, and I believe that's going to do it for Nofi. That one barely missed, too, on that outside part of the plate. Unhappy with the call Nofi is. And that's going to bring in a new arm here for the Saints.
So their third pitcher of the game, and in fact of the evening, coming in, and we'll introduce you to him coming up next. And the third pitcher of the game for the Saints is number 37, the freshman Nathan Norwood, a 6'2 right-hander from Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Norwood, good high school career on both sides of the ball. 65 innings, 1.9 earned run average. Also a 300 hitter in his senior year. Has pitched sparingly here for the Saints in this young 2023 campaign. 3 innings pitched against St. Leo in the preseason, or actually in this season. Also, he went 2 1/3 against Columbus State. He actually technically would have earned the win had he pitched for long enough against Georgia College.
He'll face Jared Berardino, the cleanup hitter, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Berardino with the .394 average coming in and that gaudy .758 slugging percentage. Has 3 homers on the season. Count is 1-1. And a swing and a miss.
Beautiful breaking ball there from Norwood. Had Bernardino way out in front.
Here's the 1-2. Lined into the gap. This could be trouble. It's going to get down for a base hit. Cox comes in to score. And right behind him is Barry. It's a 2-run single for Jared Berardino, and it cuts the lead to 1, 6-5, and the inning is not over. Still runners at the corners.
Great piece of opposite field hitting there for Berardino, showing why he has nearly a .400 batting average on the year. That's a huge hit. Felt like the Saints were in a comfortable spot coming into this inning. Just some real inaccurate pitching here. A couple of walks. Self-inflicted wounds here for the Saints.
Christopher Rabia steps in. He's 2 for 3. So Durkin at third base and Berardino at first. And there's a strike. And quickly ahead, 0-2 is Norwood. And that one misses. Ball 1. So you're a true freshman and not a conference game, not necessarily high-pressure situation, but it's an important game here as the Saints started off this season with a tough losing streak. Finally got in the win column, and this one's outside. So you'd love to at least, escape this inning and hold on to the lead here.
Norwood, in his young career here at Flagler, and on Sunday, was in a big, crucial spot like this with 2 runners on and only a 1-run lead at the time, and he was able to get out of that against Georgia College for the Saints' first win. Dave Barnett going back to him here in an equally as big spot.
Well, the Saints certainly need to figure out these high-leverage situations out of the bullpen, and perhaps Norwood is one of the answers. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And foul tipped. So Rabia stays alive. And that one misses outside, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Keeps trying to go back to that well with the breaking ball that's coming away from Rabia.
Yeah, Assumption brought some fans. You can hear them. I could hear the Boston accent as I walked through the crowd earlier. Here's the 3-2, and he got him! Struck him out! Nathan Norwood gets Rabius swinging to end the inning and preserve the lead for the Saints. We head to the home half of the 7th. It's Saints 6, Greyhounds 5. Bottom of the 7th, Saints clinging to a 6-5 lead. It will be Jaden Ward, Justin Haskins, and Zach Thomas for Flagler. And just kind of paying off the Nathan Norwood appearance, what were your thoughts as a former pitcher?
Came in, did his job. That's the biggest part. Got a little curveball happy. Both the guys coming out of the pen, I believe, got a little curveball happy, a little breaking ball happy. But he did his job. He got in, hit happened, wiped it off, and didn't compound the bleeding. Was able to settle down, get the out, and get the Saints back and preserve the lead. Wasn't as big as when he got in, but he did his job at the end of the day.
This one's fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ward, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI. Ground ball into the hole, and that's going to get right through for his second hit of the game. Jaden Ward starting to heat up here.
Saints needed that too, especially after an inning like that. You want to have a longer inning, kind of let everyone in the pitching staff decompress, get ready for that when they come back out. And they'll love to put up a run here and give a little bit of cushion.
Absolutely. Greyhounds jumped on top early with a solo home run in the first, and the Saints clawed back and led it 6-1 before giving up a single run in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. This is Haskins, who has a couple of singles and a run scored today. And 2-0 as Haskins jumps out in front. Here's the pitch, and that one caught the outside of the plate.
You know, the Saints pitchers would have loved to get that call last innings. That one barely nicked the outside part of the zone.
Haskins, a first baseman and a pitcher. 6'1" freshman out of Lambert High School in Sewanee, Georgia. It goes the other way. Just foul by a couple of feet. Last year was his Region's Player of the Year in high school. First team All-State.
I didn't see that.
Four-year starter as well for varsity.
At a big school, too.
Kid can play ball. He's in a big spot here. for the Saints.
2-2 is low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Checking on Ward, who isn't really known for his base stealing. 1 for 1 on the season. Here's the 3-2. Lifted into the gap, and the catch is going to be made as the left fielder goes to his knees. Nice play by Berardino to stay with it. It was kind of slicing away from him, a tough ball to handle. And it's the first out of the 7th.
Really solid at bat there for Haskins. So he saw a lot of pitches and put a good swing on the ball. Just that's the way baseball goes sometimes. Make good contact, hit it right to someone.
Well, here's one of the offensive stars of the game, Zach Thomas, a 3-run bomb in the 4th. And this one stays up and outside.
Thomas last at bat as well. He flew out to right field, put a real good swing on that ball as well. Definitely something to look out for here as the Saints second baseman takes a spot in the batter's box.
2-0 to Haskins. Or excuse me, Thomas. And that one's low. Ball 3. Corey Chapone, the third pitcher of the game for Assumption. And that is a strike.
Wow.
Running away from the plate too. He has the arm side movement, Chapone, on his fastball. I really can't believe that was called a strike.
And now an inside strike called. So the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Ward is at first. And strike 3 called. And not much argument from Ward, although it seems like they were pretty generous with both sides of the plate during that at bat.
Yeah, that's a tough at bat right there. Did a great job, and then to go down on 3 straight called strikes, that debatable calls, at least that ball, the initial 3-0 pitch, definitely a debatable call.
This is Sims Owens. He's been aboard a couple of times, a single, a walk, has a stolen base as well. And grounded foul and maybe off of his foot as well.
Owens and Kladinsky doing a good job stepping in for Donovan Garcia. Garcia yet to make his appearance on the season for the Saints. But both corner outfielders for the Saints doing a good job in holding down their spots and putting solid at-bats together. Owens quick as well. Mentioned he had a stolen base, but plays a very solid right field for the Saints.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Donovan Garcia slots in when he returns. Here's the 0-2, and that's way up high, trying to get him to chase. Garcia 2 years ago was, I believe, first team All-Peach Belt Conference as a true freshman.
Came in and was fantastic.
Yeah.
Remember, it seems like every time the Saints needed a big hit, he was coming through for them.
Dropped off a little last year. That hit him. And so Sims Owens gets aboard the hard way. And the inning continues, and that will bring up Jackson Wentworth.
Looks like we're going to get a pitching change here.
Yeah, meeting at the mound, and we'll see, did he make the call to the pen?
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, he will make the change. We'll step aside for a moment, tell you about the new pitcher when we come back here on the PBC Network. And welcome back. The new pitcher is number 37, the big right-hander, Johnny Davis, from Marston Mills, Massachusetts.
Product of Worcester Academy. This academy known more for their basketball prowess, but also a very good baseball program as well.
Wentworth swings at the first pitch. So Saints with an opportunity after giving up 3 runs in the top half of the inning and holding on to that 1-run lead. And there's strike 2. And Wentworth chatting with the umpire about that. Always kind of interesting when you see the catcher at bat talking to the umpire. You don't want to show him up necessarily because it might hurt your side when you go back out there defensively, but he's probably seen, half the pitches in the game, obviously. This one popped up into short left field. Backing up is the shortstop, and he falls down making the catch, but Hamill stays with it, and that ends the inning. So we head to the 8th, still 6-5 Saints. Top of the 8th, 6-5 Flagler, and we'll have a pinch hitter for Assumption. It's number 25, Nick Gagliotti. Gagliotti is a grad student, 6'2", 220 out of West Hartford, Connecticut.
His third at-bat of the season here. He's yet to record a hit.
First pitch swinging, fouls it straight back. Nathan Norwood continues on the mound for the Saints. Seth Wysocki started and did a great job. And then he was relieved by Anthony Nofi and Norwood in the 7th. Here's the 0-1. Lined foul, strike 2. Wysocki went 6 1/3 through 90 pitches, gave up 9 hits, 4 runs. They're all earned. Walked just 1, struck out 5. Nofi got through just a third of an inning. It took him 17 pitches. And there is strike 3 looking. So Norwood makes quick work of Gagliotti. And there's one down here in the 8th.
Pair of shoes there. Got him looking. Outside fastball there. Good to see Saints getting that call again.
That brings up the catcher, Eric Preston, who's 1 for 2 with a walk. Fouls off the first pitch. And a fastball pumped in, but it misses. Ball 1. Strike 2. Norwood working quickly. Market difference from Nofi, who was very deliberate. 2-2 stays upstairs, and the count runs full.
Pace helps when there's no one on the base paths.
Absolutely. That's a good point. The 3-2. Tough play. Mason Gray gloves it. Long throw. And it'll pull the first baseman off the bag. But nice job of Mason Gray to keep that on the infield. It's an infield hit for Preston. And so there's one aboard with one out. And that brings up Kevin Cox.
We got a pinch runner.
Cox is 1 for 3. A pinch runner comes into the game. And that's number 1, Nico Galeazzi. Sophomore, 5'10", 190 out of Lynn, Mass.
Number 1, Nico Galeazzi.
Said Lynn Classical. Lynn Classical, really nice school in Mass. Lynn, neighboring town to Saugus, Massachusetts, where I am from. Great pizza in Lynn, Massachusetts as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Fosse's Pizza, real nice place. They have a nice sweet crust. It's fantastic. Don't get pizza like that down here.
Okay, I believe you. Getting a whole Massachusetts cultural and geographical lesson from Jordan Fauci. I'm sure the Assumption fans appreciate it. Throw behind the runner, and they've got him in a rundown. Mason Gray will try to run him down from behind, and he'll flip just in time. And it's actually the pitcher, Norwood, who records the out, and that'll help.
Is that a ball or strike?
That will definitely help there. And I feel like as soon as we said something about Wentworth slightly needing to work on his arm strength,
Yes.
he's delivered 2 very good throws on
Very
little
solid.
backdoor pick attempts at first.
Yes, strong throws and accurate, and that was a very important out as it clears the bases.
What is it? 0-2.
So the count is 0-2, and we want a clarification up here in the press box, and the Flagler bench wanted it as well.
Little hesitation.
Long
fastball.
pause as that's an interesting.
Did you just
And
call him for a balk there?
I think he's perhaps warning him about a balk.
I don't know how you can warn someone for a balk on that, but that's messing with timing. See that a lot in the bigs. Marcus Stroman, in particular, really popularizing that, called the hesitation fastball. And it really does a good job of messing with hitters' timing, something you see a lot out of the stretch, especially left-handed guys with runners on, taking an extra second to pause there. But apparently umpiring crew not a fan of it, and Norwood getting the warning.
Here's the 1-2. Tap foul. That one stays outside.
In between innings, I may need to have somebody run down to the third base dugout just to see who the new catcher is.
What is it?
I need to find out who the new catcher is for Assumption.
And there's strike 3. So Norwood gives up a hit, but tosses a scoreless 8th. And Flagler leads it 6-5, headed into the home half of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning, Saints still lead at 6-5. Back to the top of the order. Mason Gray, Trey Newland, and Taylor Clapp due up to face Johnny Davis. Some defensive changes in right field. Eric Gearneys takes over for Acosta, and behind the plate it's McManus replacing Eric Preston, who was pinch hit for. Bunt attempt, and it rolls foul.
Gray trying to steal one there. Just push that one a little bit foul down the line as third baseman for Assumption. Cox playing way back.
Ground ball right to short. Hamill up with it. And there's one away. So that brings up Trey Newland, who's 1 for 4 with a stolen base.
It's going to be interesting who comes on in the 9th inning here for the Saints. Don't think that Gabriel Partridge is available, and he's gotten most of the work in the late innings, especially in save opportunities for the Saints in this young season. He was at the center of the kerfuffle, we'll put it, that happened on
Kerfuffle.
Sunday.
Good word. Now, Gage Voorhees is going to be used in relief this week. Coach Barnett said, since it's not a conference week, I'm not sure we'll see him today, but perhaps with this one-run game, in the interest of picking up any win, you go to your ace. But we expect to see Gage come out of the bullpen and not start any of the 4 games this week.
Well, I was talking to Gage prior to the season, and I'm looking up the exact quote that I had from him. But, yeah, he said in the last 12 months coming into the season before he pitched with the Savannah Bananas this offseason, he'd thrown over 190 innings.
Wow.
And it'd be good to get Saints ace some time. We'd still get some work in, obviously, come out of the bullpen, but not put as much stress on his arm.
Right, and try to keep him fresh as we head towards the meat of the conference season. Newland has gone on strikes. That brings up Taylor Clapp. Clapp 1 for 4 today, single and a run scored. Breaking pitch is in for a strike. And that one misses. 2 balls and a strike. Well, no one's warming in the bullpen at the moment, so I wonder if Norwood comes out and tries to close things out and make it a 2+ inning save.
Wouldn't be surprised. He's pitched well after coming in and allowing that RBI single, but ever since then he really shut the door on them, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got a bit more work here.
Here's the 3-2. And that'll end the inning. So we head to the 9th. Saints holding on 6-5. So here we go, top of the 9th inning, and they will stick with the freshman Nathan Norwood looking for the 2+ inning save. Defensively, the Saints will send Bryce Fitzgerald into left field to replace Tim Kudlinski.
Oh, wait a second. Is that Kudlinski, right? Okay,
so Norwood will deal with 9, 1, and 2. Jake Hamill, Cody Smith, and Jack Berry. He's thrown 28 pitches through an inning and a third. Giving up 2 hits and starts off with a strike against Hamill, who's 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
You really want to go 1, 2, 3. Obviously, you want to go 1, 2, 3. I'm saying the obvious, but you do not want Durkin and Berardino to come back up. They've been killing the Saints all game.
Good point. Durkin with the solo home run in the first, and then Berardino with the 2-run single last inning, or in the 7th, excuse me. As the 0-2 pitch tries to get him to chase outside. And he retires the first batter via the strikeout. So 1 gone here in the 9th, and that brings up Cody Smith. Smith 1 for 4 with a run scored. Goes after the first pitch. Norwood stuff has looked good to me, the untrained eye, if you will.
He's been on it. Breaking ball, able to locate. He's really just locating all of his pitches very well. Changing up speeds, doing a good job, and that also has doing part of the game that Jackson Wentworth's calling behind the plate. But he's really just pushing and pulling the gas pedal here against these assumption hitters and keeping them off balance. That's the name of the game. Just keep them off balance.
Well, he's ahead of Smith 0-2.
It's the biggest part for him as well. Notice when he came in and allowed that RBI single, that he got behind in the count. And he's done a real good job of throwing first pitch fastball, staying in the driver's seat during these at-bats. And it's paid off for him. He's retired, the last 3 he's faced?
Here's the 1-2. Fouled back. The Saints do have someone loosening up. In fact, I think they have 2 pitchers out there. Do you have a better view of it? Is it not sure who it is, but are there 2 guys warming up?
There is definitely 1 guy warming up. I can tell you that for certain. There's 2 actually warming up. 2 righties going in the pen for the Saints in case this trouble begins here.
Wow. Athletic play by Norwood, climbing the ladder and corralling that bouncer up the middle and then throwing out Smith, and the Greyhounds are down to their last out.
Pitching coach Jeff Pelkey has to be happy there. Help yourself out. Definitely working on the PFPs, pitcher fielding practice. And when it comes to playing from fruition in a 1-run game like that, you really have to be happy.
So here's Jack Berry. Berry looking for his first hit today. He has reached on a walk and scored. And even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
They never went ahead.
And this one lifted into the gap. And just into the game is Bryce Fitzgerald. He makes it the catch to put it away. Saints win it 6-5 behind a solid pitching performance all the way around. Seth Wysocki gets the win. Norwood with the save. Keating takes the loss. And final thoughts from our guy, Jordan Fauci.
Real good. Get on a bit of a roll here. 2 straight wins here for the Saints, but really promising stuff. The bats finally getting alive here, starting to heat up, and that's what the Saints need. Pitching came through when it needed to. Bend don't break sort of approach to everything, but the offense can keep putting up runs on the board. I'm confident in the staff and the pen to keep these leads tight. But now they head into some more non-PBC action this weekend. Mount Olive doubleheader, I believe.
That's right. So Mount Olive comes in on Saturday for a doubleheader. The first one starts at 1 o'clock, and then the wrap-up of the 3-game series is on Sunday at 12. We'll have those games for you here on the PBC Network. So for our Sports Information Director, John Jordan, our producer, Laurel Plexico, and Jordan Fauci, I'm Dave Wenda. The final again, Saints win it 6-5. Have a great night, everybody.